Welcome to Money Matters with Southern Michigan Bank and Trust, where we talk to the experts in our team to answer your financial questions.
Today, we're sitting down with Aimee Kornowicz, Vice President of Municipal Banking. We're discussing FDIC insurance, ICS, and more.
My name is Aimee Kornowicz. I am the Vice President of Municipal Banking for Southern, which means actually that I do everything and anything municipal. My whole day consists of dealing with counties, townships, cities, villages, and public schools and universities and colleges. So I am their go-to person for any questions they have on the deposit and the loan side, just to kind of help them along in their day.
Let's go ahead and dive into municipal banking. What does your role entail, Aimee?
Do something that's similar to what our universal bankers do with our personal customers when they come in. I advise them on the best things to do with their funds, best products to invest the funds in. If they're looking for any type of financing, I kind of can help them along and guide them. Do they want a loan? Do they want to do something where they go out for a bond? Basically, with a municipality, their financing is a little bit different. They're responsible for the funds for that entire township or that entire county. So they have to be real responsible where they put their money, because that money actually will help to fund certain amenities in the communities that we all live in. So if we're not helping them manage their funds correctly, those special amenities like parks and other educational programs that they may be sponsoring or programs for those that are in need are not going to happen, because they're not going to have those funds.
So, Aimee, every bank customer sees those little FDIC signs around the bank. Can you tell us, what do those actually mean, and what does FDIC insurance mean?
Sure. FDIC coverage stands for Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. What that does is it's kind of an insurance policy for any depositor that has funds on deposit at the bank, to make sure that in the event or in the unlikely event that we fail, their funds are protected. So they will get their money back to them. Each depositor is insured up to $250,000. It does work a little different. You can actually maximize and get more coverage than that based on how you title your account, if you're going to have a joint account or if you're going to have a business account set up in an EIN versus your personal Social Security number. Municipalities tend to be a little bit different. They get $500,000 worth of coverage that is split evenly between a checking account product and a savings vehicle like a money market or a CD product. So it just gives them that extra layer of protection. If God forbid something were to happen, they're not going to have to worry and stress that they're not going to have any money at all to recoup back.
Oftentimes, when FDIC coverage is discussed, some may worry about bank failures. What would you say to alleviate those fears?
Actually, it's a great question, because bank failures, you're going to see some red flags as a consumer if a bank fails. First and foremost, I always joke around with my clients and say, if you're driving past your local bank branch and you see your favorite branch manager in the back of the building at 7 p.m. burning documents, that's a huge red flag. So I'll joke around with them about that. But in all seriousness, there are ways that as a consumer, you can kind of take a look and see what's going on with your bank. There are websites you can go to for free. Bowerbank.com is one. Depositaccounts.com is one where you could go in and literally type any bank name in there, and it's going to tell you how the bank is rated. A lot of them do like A through F ratings. So if you're looking, and let's say January, you come around and you're looking at your bank and they're rated an A+, and then you're starting to get some red flags in your bank where maybe they're doing some things that are just kind of making you uneasy, and you go back and log into these websites and look, and now your bank is rated a C. That's a huge red flag that something is going on. So, I mean, as a consumer, I always will encourage our customers or prospects, even before they bring money over to us, take a look at us. Like, we'll provide an annual report to show them our assets, our liabilities, where we stand financially as a bank. But I also encourage them to use these depositaccounts.com websites, because it's really a clear picture of our bank as a whole, how we're rated, and as far as compared to other banks of similar size. So it's just good to be an educated consumer and just kind of, keep the blinders open and just kind of look. And if you're getting a weird feeling, 9 times out of 10, there is something going on, but you do have those resources to go to in the event that you do have kind of a weird, icky feeling. So. You don't have to pay a monthly service fee or whatnot, membership fee, I should say, to be a part of it. You just go in and plug in any bank name. I mean, I know I personally will go in there and just kind of take a look at our competition and see how they're rated. And sometimes it's a little eye-opening. You think they may be rated a little higher than what they are, and they're not.
Aimee, let's talk CDARS and ICS. Can you tell us more about what this is?
CDARS and ICS, it is an insurance program that's offered through IntraFi, which is a third-party provider that we partner with. Actually, 3,000 banks partner with IntraFi to provide enhanced FDIC coverage to their customers. They offer it in a couple of different options. They offer it in a traditional bank CD option. They also offer it in a money market and a checking account option if someone's looking for a little more liquidity. And what it does is it actually takes funds that a customer may have with a bank that's not FDIC protected. Maybe it's over and above that $250,000 threshold. And what it does is it will actually give them up to the full FDIC coverage. And the IntraFi actually will act like a person. Like, let's say you have your customer and they're trying to maximize FDIC coverage, and by doing so, they're driving around to 6 different banks, putting $250,000 increments in each bank. That takes a lot of time for them to do. It's a lot to try to manage, especially if you're trying to manage maturity dates and where you have money. IntraFi will be that intermediary where they will actually take that bucket of funds and parson it out amongst other member banks to maximize the FDIC coverage for the customer. And what's nice is Southern will manage that relationship for the customer, so we are the go-to. The go-to for questions. We give them monthly statements. Any questions that they may have at whatsoever, they come to us. They're not going to 6 or 7 different banks on a given day to try to find out how much money they have or when their maturity date is. We're going to help them manage that relationship and give them extra FDIC protection. And when you're a municipality, honestly, you don't have that time. A lot of them work kind of bare bones. Plus, if you're up against tax collection time, that's really their main focus is tax collection twice a year. So to be in the car for a good chunk of your day trying to go between 7 or 8 different banks, it doesn't make sense. So it just helps them out. It saves them some time. It's a service that we provide that we don't charge them any type of monthly fee for. The interest rate tends to be a smidge lower than a traditional bank interest rate, but they still earn a decent amount of interest and they get maximum protection.
So, if a municipality or other client wanted to set these types of accounts up, what would the process look like?
They would just come to us. We would take a look at the relationship and talk through what they wanted to protect, how they wanted to protect it, if they wanted to keep the funds liquid, if they feel they could tie the funds up for any specific amount of time. And we would then fill out some paperwork. I believe it's just 3 pages of paperwork that they got to complete. Simple.
Yeah.
We could then fill that paperwork out. We submit it through to IntraFi for them once we gather all their signatures, all their signer signatures. IntraFi will set that up fairly quickly. If it is a money market or a checking account product, as long as we get paperwork submitted by 11 a.m. the same day, they actually will have the product set up by the next business day. If it's a CD product, that's a little different. We have to submit paperwork by 10 a.m. on Wednesdays, and we do place our CDARS CDs once a week, so we do place them on Thursdays. So, if somebody wants a CDARS CD, they can fill the paperwork out on Friday. Just their CD placement won't take place until the following Thursday. But it's fairly quick process. 3 simple pages. We give them monthly statements. If they get a money market or a checking account, there's a depositor portal that they have a link to that we send within 24 hours of them opening the account. They click on that depositor portal and they have all access to that account. They can view transactions for the day, check their balances. They can even see what member banks their funds are parsoned out in between. So it's all that information's at their fingertips.
Lastly, Aimee, how do the municipality services at SMBT stand out from other banks?
Just on the municipal banking side, I know that not every bank has a municipal banking specialist. And some banks will have their branch managers be their municipal banking guru, But really, on a day-to-day basis, a branch manager wears about 50 hats a day,
Yes.
from financial expert to people person to HR. It's crazy. So to dedicate the time that's needed with this specialized relationship it's asking a lot. So it's nice that Southern saw the value in their municipal clients to bring this position to light, because really I'm able to answer questions, more high level questions that maybe the manager could not. I have the advantage of being able to go to conferences every year. I attend about 6 on average a year, where I sit in with treasurers and financial managers for these municipalities to find out what they're learning and what obstacles they're up against, and how we as a bank can help solve those problems and kind of help them along. So it speaks volumes about Southern for their commitment to the community, and the commitment that they see for having a municipal banker to help their municipal portfolio grow.
Thanks for listening to another session of Money Matters with SMBT. Tune in for another sit down with one of our experts soon.